Ladies and gents, she's your fave and she's mine. Zari Hassan, the boss lady herself. Welcome to the Talk with Talker.
Thank you so much.
I mean, I feel like pop up champagne. I'm like, whoop, whoop,
Oh my God, I'm just sitting here listening to you. I'm like, wow, is that all me?
That's all you were. That's all
it's
you
too
were.
much. It is not 10, but
There's so many different parts of your life.
yeah.
And, you know, a lot of people follow you across the globe.
Yeah.
You have 9 million followers.
Yes.
What is your claim to fame, girl?
Lifestyle. You know, gone are the days when I used to think, you know, I'm beautiful, I'm going to get married to one person who's going to be wearing satin robes, waking up to champagne breakfast and all that.
Didn't we all think
We
that?
all thought, that's why, look at us. We grew up.
It was a fraud. They lied.
Life happened. So yeah, lifestyle really, you know, draws people to me.
Yeah, I like that you touched on several things that you do. There's a socialite, there's a businesswoman, you know, and there's, you know, you wear so many hats.
Yeah.
But let's talk a bit about Zarina Hassan,
Yeah.
who hails from Ginger in Uganda.
Uganda, yeah.
I think, you know, people want to know, who are you?
I'm such a village girl, hey. I come from a small town where, you know, we had one library, one butchery, like everybody knew everybody. That's where I come from. I'm from a family with 6 girls and 2 brothers, and my mom passed. My dad is a farmer, he's still around. So I just had a normal childhood. And I think it really helped to shape the person I am today. Yeah.
Am I wrong to assume that there's some mixed heritage somewhere?
Yeah.
So let's talk about it.
My one grandparent was from India.
Okay.
And then my other grandparent was from Uganda. I have one from Somalia and one from Burundi. So that is 4 countries. Then you get me, who's literally just born proudly Ugandan.
Amazing.
Yeah.
As someone from a very small community, as you mentioned, what were your dreams growing up?
I just wanted to be bigger. I wanted to be rich one day. I wanted to be famous.
How did you get to be the person that you, what were the things that you did to get here?
It took consistency. It took hard work. It took me, you know, late nights, sacrifices, and if they told you today I'm successful because of, I've never found an answer until today. I don't have an answer because it's a whole lot of tiny pieces put together that actually put you where you want to be.
Do you think that a mixture of your heritage and, you know, where you're from, because I'm just hearing you speak, do you think that it sort of helped or shaped the decisions? Like, let's talk about growing up, for instance, you know, your early days in school. What did you study? Were all those things a part of your journey to where you are today?
My heritage had nothing to do with it. You know, I came from a community, a colored community.
Okay.
You know, being colored, girls were just beautiful and they were meant to grow up and be married off. And I was like, I don't want to be married off to somebody at 16, 18. Like, I want to live my life. And I was a wild child. You know, I was a wild child because everything the community didn't want, I did. They never wanted girls to hang out with boys. I only had boy friends, you know, like your guy friends. Everything that they didn't want us to wear pants, I would wear pants.
So we can say that you would not be fit.
I never settled. I never settled.
Amazing.
I felt like I wasn't born to fit in. I was literally born to stand out. Yeah.
So let's talk about your time in London. You studied in London. What did you study?
I did cosmetology in the UK. You know, I felt like I could do a bit of fashion because I felt I was beautiful, you know, for me being pretty and all the things. Glam would be my line of work. I did that. I did a diploma for 2 years and it never took me anywhere.
Really?
Yeah, being in the UK while I was actually studying, I was also doing a whole lot of, you know, I cleaned, I was a maid.
I wanted to ask you that. You remember your first job?
I was a maid. I was literally a maid while I was studying. I had like 3 houses that I would clean. I would get onto a train, the tube. I need to clean here, quickly 2 hours, move to another place. And I also worked in a sandwich factory. I would be in the factory for about 6 hours in the night, and I have 6 hours during the day to catch a bus or a train to go and do a bit of stuff.
For the young girls at home who see 9 million followers on Instagram, amazing photographs of yachts, champagne, it's nice to know that at some point, the humble beginnings were the push that you needed to get here.
Okay.
So when you were done in London, you moved back to Uganda.
I moved back to Uganda. I kind of felt like I didn't fit in. It was slow, you know, everything was slow. Looking, my mom was a tailor, my dad is a farmer, I look at my aunties, I was like, I don't want to be like you guys. So I was never inspired by any of them. And I said, I have an aunt of mine who lives in South Africa. I was like, you know what, I'm so bored in this country. Can I just come visit and see what's happening? And I also wanted to further my studies. I got here. It's not a city of gold. It's gold and joy.
That picture in your mind, you're like, is this dream going to come true?
It's not a city of gold. So I get to Pretoria. My aunt is just also doing some salon business. Just go out to help her in the salon. We're just sitting there watching her do all this. Having a whole lot of women just camp at the salon talking about their relationships, and it's like, why am I? What I left UK to Uganda, now to South Africa. This is what I'm going to do. As months went by, I was actually doing nothing. Then I met the father of my kids, Ivan. He had also just come months.
I don't mean to cut you short, girl. I know I have that effect, you know. Yeah. We are going to get into it. Do you need a blanket? Do you need water? Coffee, tea? Because we're going to get through all of this.
Yes.
You know, for someone who never wanted to fit in, she's done an amazing job standing out and standing tall. More to come after the break. You started out as a video vixen.
Yeah. You know, it came off.
I have the breathtakingly stunning Zari, the boss lady, has sang. Zari! So before we went on a break, things got a little bit deep. You know, we're still going to cover all of that.
Yeah.
But then, you know, you've been known as Zari Hassan all your life. But then there's, you know, Clary.
Yeah.
Did I get that right?
Yes. Yeah, you did.
Thank you so much. So where did that come from?
It was just an adopted name when I moved to South Africa.
Okay.
And I became from Hassan to Clary. It really hasn't changed me much.
Yeah, so it came from the South Africans?
Yeah.
Well, they gave me a name as well.
Yeah.
So my South African name is Mbale Claire.
Oh, okay.
Did I get
You
that right? So you teach me.
I can't.
Okay. Because I need to ask you that.
No, I really
Where exactly
can't.
do you make home? Because, you know, there's Uganda, there's Dubai sometimes, there's South Africa. Where is home for you?
Home for me is South Africa. I've lived here for 22 years. That is almost half of my life. So this is home.
So let's dial it back a little bit. You started out as a video vixen.
Yeah.
Now in an industry that relies heavily on like overly, you know, sexual images, provocative images. How do you think that affected your self-esteem, if it did?
It never affected me. I wasn't actually a video vixen as such. I was a musician. I was an artist.
Okay.
But, you know, at that time of me being an artist, trying to get into places where you felt like I need to be there. You know, it came off with like, oh, you need to sleep with me, or you need to do that, or, you know,
Let's talk about that.
I can get a record deal for you, or I can do this. And I think some of the reasons why I actually didn't pursue my music career, because I just didn't feel like I needed to sleep with anyone to do anything, to be somewhere, to get into places. I felt like whatever. It just wasn't in me, because there's a whole lot of people being exploited. I could give you a record deal, but it's like, no.
Where did you find the strength to say, no one's going to exploit me, I'm going to get there on my terms?
Growing up, at some point, my dad left, you know, and it was my mother doing everything for us, and it gets to a point where you feel like I don't have anybody fighting for me. My mom is just my mom.
How old were you when you left?
I think it was 13. 13 is actually when you're getting into your adolescent stage and so much is happening, and you actually need a father figure to tell you, no, you can't do this. But now I was just on my own.
When you say leave, just be clear, did he die or just walk
No,
out?
leave. He just walked out on us.
I mean, just hearing you say that, I lost my dad when I was 8. He didn't walk out on us, he died. And I can relate.
Yeah.
I grew up really fast, you know, and I think that side of us, people wonder why we're so tough.
It's so tough.
But I'm like, girl, I've watched both my parents being put in the ground on the same day.
Ooh.
There's nothing you can do to me, you know, that would faze me. So thank you so much for sharing that. I mean, you talked about motherhood and having to step up. You have 5 beautiful kids.
Yes.
I need you to talk to me about every single one of them. Sorry, come on.
My first son is called Pinto. He's very humble. He's very diplomatic. He's not a social media person. Probably does one post in a whole year. He's very smart. He's actually one of the smartest kids in South Africa, you know, with his math grades. He's always making chats. My second son, Raphael, is a little bit more like the father. He loves money. He's more gangster. He's for the streets. I can make it. I don't need to do this. Don't worry, Mom. I'm going to take care of you. He's that type. And then Quincy, who's the third one, very chilled. I think he's got a little bit of my personality and his father's. If he goes to the street kids, he fits in. If he goes into the corporate world, he fits in. So Quincy's all over the place. The last two who are diamonds, that's Princess Latifah, my own little girl. She's a diva. She's a very diva. I mean, she has 4 boys paying her attention. So even when she goes...
She's the one with the Instagram.
Yeah.
She kind of famous.
Yeah, famous. Almost 3 million. So when she sneezes, we're all like, what's wrong? You know, she gets that attention. And she's using using that against us. Last one, Neelan, also from Diamond. He's very laid back, very quiet, but very smart. So that is all my 5 kids summarized.
I want to talk about your daughter.
Yeah.
And for your kids, because she has almost 3 million followers. That's a whole career.
Yeah.
And she's growing.
Yeah.
How are you managing that?
I do all her posts. I choose what we post because at the end of the day, I'm seeing it from an adult point of view, but then I need to remember, wait a second, this is a kid's page. So I'm very, very careful with what content of hers that I post. Besides that, she's got some modeling opportunities right now in Tanzania. She's modeling for Baby Shop and a whole lot of other shops back home.
Wow. So you think she got her business sense, brand building, just by watching you?
She's a boss. She's a mini-me. Latifah she's a character, very strong character. I kind of feel like she's taking it from me. That's amazing and beautiful.
Amazing. So how do you juggle it all? Dating, businesswoman, raising kids, talking about dating with, your kids.
Yeah.
You have to be ahead of it. Like, if you're a man, there's 5 kids.
Yeah,
there's businesses. So how do you balance it out?
Dating has been quite, I've dated a couple of people and it just ends up not working because sometimes I'm too committed to my work, I'm too committed to my kids, and sometimes I probably put relationships last, because I want to prioritize. But sometimes my business really needs me and my kids needs me, and I know you as my man needs me and I need you, but I need to know now, where do I put my energy first? And sometimes men come up to say, she doesn't take me priority. Oh, just because she's strong, she's got it all. She doesn't need a man. We do need men. Strong women need men.
Yeah.
It's just that sometimes you getting into my life, you need to look at me. What am I doing? There's kids, there's what. Is she going to prioritize me first? It becomes difficult dating when you're very independent and people kind of seem like she's got it all. It also intimidates me.
Hold that thought. Her life is very eventful, as you can see, and there's more to come. I have the lovely Zari, the boss lady Hassan. And before we went on a break, we were talking about how unlucky in love she's been. Girl,
yes.
You said so many things that I feel like we're so alike.
Yeah.
Do you think it's the masculine energy we've had to adapt from doing everything by ourselves? And because I'll tell you this about myself. I find that it's hard to defer to someone because I've had to take care of myself for a long time.
Yeah.
So when I now have to accommodate a man, I want to, but I don't know how to be damsel in distress.
Exactly. I think it really comes off more like, I can do this myself. I've been doing it myself. And it gets to a point like, why do I need you? Not that we don't need them. We do need them. We are just used to taking care of ourselves.
No, but I want to be
It's very intimidating.
But I also want to be taken care of.
I do. I do.
I'm talking about taking care of. I want to know how you juggled your independence.
Yeah.
I mean, your first husband was very wealthy.
Yeah.
How did you juggle, I'm independent, but this is a man with a lot of wealth?
Sorry to get you short talking. What people don't understand, when I met my ex-hubby, he wasn't actually, if you look at our pictures, way back, we were like 2 little villages. When we got together, we had so much ambition. And looking at him, he had so much potential. Looking at me, he could feel my force. So we joined 2 forces and we built an empire. Most people always come like, no, but you inherited. I never inherited anything from that man. Everything that he left behind when he passed on, we worked for together. and I've got a whole lot of pictures and videos. Even before we had kids, the tiny Honda Ballets we were driving, sometimes the doors couldn't even open, and people don't know these things. And when they see you pulling up in a Lamborghini, she inherited. When they see you living in no, I didn't. Everything I had, we acquired together. Even after his passing, that's why you see I can still keep the legacy going because I'm hardworking. So many women are left inheritance. A year later, they don't even know what happened to what, but because I built, I was part of that foundation. I was just not a roof that was, put there. I was a foundation. I can still carry on.
It's nice to hear that you actually struggled with this man. How did you meet and fall in love with him?
Meeting Ivan was such a villager. So we were by my aunt's place, and my aunt used to cook Sunday lunches where all Ugandan people would come and vibe and show. And he kept coming there, and I asked my aunt, "There's this boy that comes here, he never speaks at all. What's up with him?" He says, "No, he's just one of those local boys. He's also new." We were both new here. And eventually, I think on the third weekend, he gets the courage to come to me and he says, "I dig you." That's it. Said, "You did."
You never looked back since.
No, I was like, "You're not even my type." He looked so tiny, very local, and I'm like, and me coming from home, remember, I was already that famous girl from where I'm coming from, like, does this guy know who I am? And the next day, he pulls up, it was a Monday, he says, "We're going to go grab some ice cream." Ice cream.
Ice cream.
Then we went, and he barely spoke. We're just driving around. I'm thinking, what the hell is happening with this one? Me being the talkative one now, I started talking, and you can see it's really forcing. But that's why you see, if I found a man that talks as much as I do, I think we wouldn't last. He was the opposite, quiet, and I was a very talkative and just big personality. Eventually, we started dating, and before I knew it, I was pregnant, and we never looked back. Life happened. Yeah.
When you talk about him, you still have this smile. It was quite a journey with Ivan.
It was quite a journey with Ivan. I think I built with him. I grew with him. When we met, I was 20, I think I was 20, Ivan was 23. You can imagine when we met. So I spent 12, 13 years with him. That is the longest relationship I've ever been in. He became part of me. That's why until today when I speak of him, I don't speak of him like he passed or something. I kind of speak like, because he's there with me always.
You guys came to young guy, young girl from a small village, and had big dreams. But you must have heard a lot of accusations about his source of income and how he made money. Which one would you say stood out the most? The fraud accusations and people just constantly wanting to know how this money came about. What did he actually do for a living?
I was into hairdressing. Now, picking up from my auntie, I had like a tiny shop, hairdressing shop. I didn't even know how to do hair. But, being thrown in the jungle in South Africa, like, you gotta learn something, you gotta do something. And I didn't have papers at that time to say I want to look for a job and all these things, because papers also was a process for us to get papers. Ivan also on the other side, as a guy who's just in the country, was just hustling, like trying to see what's happening, what's on the ground, all these piece jobs. And it got to a point where we're like, we need to open a college. It's like, no, but we're not even educated enough to run a college. I'm like, we don't need to be educated. We just need to know what are the ins and outs. If we're going to hire people who know to do the job, here's the hardest part. It's like, where do we start?
Where did the money come from?
Yeah. Where do we start? Where do we get the money? So, it had a very tiny office, very tiny and dirty. We could actually just fit in 2 chairs in there. We opened it. We had a friend of ours from Zambia who helped us push the accreditation letters. And that very year, when our papers came out, we were broke. I actually never seen 10,000 in my whole life being in South Africa. That very year, we opened a college. We landed 2 million rands in our account. That's for the registrations alone. Because I think there was also potential. Most of the schools that were there were more like your government schools. There wasn't so many private FET colleges. And people came in. Now, the saddest part is, when students started registering and the money was on their account, we're seeing it, we're very excited. As we're waiting for the accreditation to come out, it didn't that day. Department of Education stepped in, the police stepped in, a whole lot of people stepped in. We had to refund half of that money, if not 3/4 of it. We went back to zero. Not giving up. We said, you know what, we're still pushing. I think a week later the papers came out, but people had already lost, say, it's probably fly-by-night college, because we did it was a big news in the country. So the business didn't set back. It actually moved. We kept praying over it. We prayed over it. I think we did a lot of praying for that business until it eventually picked up. And the money came. The money started flowing. Like you would just sit there at the beginning of the year with all the registrations, you're looking at 15 million rands in your account. Like, what am I going to do with this? And us being young, the lifestyle, we're buying cars, we're buying houses, we're flying, business class, everywhere. I think also with the planning, we could have done better, but new money, with new money, there's so much excitement, like you want to do it all. So we never look back until today.
So knowing the in and outs of this business, and also knowing that people did think he was very fraudulent, how does that make you feel? Because come on, when people come up with money, stuff like private jets, there are going to be people who will be like, what's the source of this income?
We went back home at some point. We had shipped in a Lamborghini. I think it was the first one to get into East Africa. And the Interpol was on our neck. Everyone was on our neck. And they said, we're doing drags. They said he's a Yahoo boy and 419 and all the things. And the government actually did a background check on us. We had no Wahala business in South Africa. Going back to Uganda, we had no Wahala business in Uganda. All the records.
That's a Nigerian thing.
Yeah. So there wasn't anything, because everything would actually trace back to our bank accounts. They go, it's cool. There's bank deposits. There's money. And it doesn't stop there. The taxmen also step in. The lifestyle is too big. What are you doing? How are you earning this money? Are you paying taxes? Trust me, and it's not always that these people are just going to come to you. It's always somebody tipping them. Somebody's always tipping them. Check the taxes. Are they legal in the country? How did they get their citizenship status? It's always one thing. But when God says it's your time, it is you, and it has to happen for you and nobody else. No matter how many people stepped in to say, it never happened, because God said it was our time. And it was our time.
I mean, do you think it's also a people of color thing? Because sometimes we all look at it as, black people wanted you to be successful.
Yeah.
But you talked about people tipping people off.
The thing is, it's a black thing, but we don't want to see other people succeeding. But I'm just glad right now things are changing, with black excellence and, a whole lot of blacks now being in the corporate world. We're looking out for each other. What can I do that you can do? If I get this tender and I can't do it, if I bring it to you, what is my percentage? I still make money. It's not, I can't do it, so I won't give it to you. I'm going to bring it to you. The thing is, what's my part? We need to build each other.
Yeah. Talking about building each other, she said those perfectly. We have each other as black people, and we win when every single one of us wins. On that note, we're going to skip through to commercial. We'll be right back. Welcome back to Talk with Toke. My name is Toke Makiwa. If you just joined us, where have you been? I have with me the lovely Zarina Hassan Klale. I hope I got that right. Popularly known as Zari, the boss lady. Now, Zari, my friend, I call you friend because I love your life. I think you are very interesting.
Yes, go.
Before we went on a break, just like the storybooks, happily ever after.
Yeah.
This story sounds too good to be true.
Yeah. 2
young kids came from, a small community, top in the world, buying amazing cars, flying different planes, but things changed.
Yeah.
At some point there was some abuse. I've always wondered, women who find themselves in abusive relationships or marriages where children are, how did you navigate the change? Let's talk about where it started.
I think abuse starts with something small. It could start with a word, a verbal abuse. It could start with something that really diminishes you as a person and kills your whole self-esteem and confidence. And as it grows, then it becomes very physical. And as it gets worse, it turns very violent. For me, it just got to a point where kids were involved and they can see me and him, you know, every other night we're screaming in the bedroom and it's happening. And my son got to a point, why does he keep doing this to you? And that hurt me so bad. I kind of felt like it was a sword that just went through me. Like, he's been hearing it. He just didn't tell me. I went back to ask myself, how long has he known this is happening to me? So it got very violent. He would literally just find me sitting somewhere with my friends, just girls drinking. He pops up, what are you doing here? What's happening? No, you just came out here because you want to meet me, and now you just probably those guys sitting next table. He became obsessed. I was like I don't know, not everything. It was just like, it has to be me.
You sound really emotional even talking about it. And, you know, there was a part where it kind of felt like you can't believe that this happened to you.
Yeah.
Now, how many of those 12 years did you spend being abusive? Because they say money changes people.
Yeah.
You know, when you guys were struggling, was there an abuse there? Or was it when you guys made it? And how many years did it go on for?
I first experienced my abuse from Ivan when I was actually 3 months pregnant. It wasn't even the money that changed him. It wasn't even the money. Looking back, I was like, did I really do 12, 13 years with all this? He just got to I think it was in him. And it got to a point where I was like, did your parents grow up fighting? You seem to make this very okay for you. You know, so this is, I think, a year into the relationship, a year and a couple of months that it started, and then it just got worse. When I actually decided to say I want to leave, we had a trip where we had taken the kids. They were playing for Manchester Soccer Academy. They used to train there. It got so violent that he hit me so bad in the club just because I'm very attractive. I don't ask people to look at me. I just find people looking at me. And sometimes you just turn around, someone is looking at you, and you smile and you just let it go. So I was never allowed to look at anybody. For me, when I was with him, it was more like, you don't look at anyone. So that night, we got into a hotel and he really beat me so bad, he almost suffocated me. And the kids were screaming and the police came in.
Did they watch that? Did the
kids
They
did.
How do you think it affected them?
So much, because I kept telling them we're not fighting, it's just adults speaking. And my son was like, how long are you going to keep covering for him? He asked me, and I think he was 9. How long are you going to keep covering for him? That is the time I decided, you know what? And he told me so many times, he'll be like, you want to leave me? If we're on a balcony, this is the only way you're going to leave me. He would show me, you want to go? And they were like, oh my God.
Were you scared?
Very. It gets to a point where it's no longer love. You can feel it's more than love. It's beyond love. It's like nobody can have you. If I'm not going to have you, nobody can have you. So for me to get that courage to say, I don't want to be here, my family wasn't there, my friends were not there, nobody was there for me. Everybody just kept telling me, it happens. It happens. That's why marriages are hanging there. I was like, you must be crazy. He's almost killing me. Don't you understand what I'm saying? He's almost killing me.
And in the middle of this, there's also the social appearance.
Yeah.
Where people look at you walk in a room.
Yeah.
And they're like, she has a perfect life. That must have been another pain.
Yeah.
You had to deal with knowing that this perfect picture, there's nothing
you
perfect
start
about it.
isolating. You isolate. Because the things it says to you, you kind of feel like, I'm not good enough. Or you fat. But I decided, baby, I'm supposed to be fat. Or I just picked the carriage. I kind of felt like, look, it's been beautiful. We've built together from scratch. And there was a part of me that really wanted this to work forever. But I want to choose me. I want to choose me over you. I want to choose me over this lifestyle. Where are you going to go with 3 kids? Who's going to maintain you? You're very expensive. Nobody's going to want you. I said, let me try. He told me that.
So was that the moment that you felt ambitious?
Yes. No, you can leave. I've already made enough money. If I want to have Russian models or whatever models in this house to sit here as my wives, I can. I said, okay, good enough for you. I packed and left, I think, with one tiny suitcase with me and the kids' clothes. We didn't take anything
So
from the
what
house.
was your plan, Zari? You know why I'm asking this? Because I don't want to sound like the proverbial African
Yeah.
say that suffer in silence. But we do know that there are many women who are stuck in the situation you survived
Yes.
from. And they need to know how
did you go?
survive. For someone who's watching, who is constantly being abused, they need to know, if I want to leave,
This is the
look
plan.
at her. How did she
How did she
get
live?
here?
You know, being at the company, both of us being the company directors and shareholders, we both earn salaries. You know, my salary, I literally didn't use it. It would just sit in my account, and it built up there.
So you had money.
I had money and that is where most women are stuck. Where am I going to go? My parents are going to think I'm a failure. I'm coming back home with 3 kids, nothing. With me, I had savings on the side. And that time, we both ran their accounts, so I could transact as much as I wanted, and he never asked what I was doing with the money. And we had different properties, but some of them were on rental. So I ended up moving into an apartment, and I said from that apartment, I gave notice to one of my tenants to say I'm moving back into that house. There wasn't fighting. It was just quiet. Just go, you know. He thought I'm going to fail and I'm going to come back. Not knowing every step I took, I was thinking of taking 10 more. So while you think
You say that again, girl, you need to preach.
Yes.
Because for the women who are watching us, you need to serve a little bit.
the saving is going to do everything.
Every step you took,
10 steps. So while he thought she's here, in my mind, I was already there. So every time he wanted to catch up, I was already 20 more, 30 more, I was gone. And before you know it, I actually slipped out of his life just like that because I had a plan.
and what did your family feel when you finally left?
My family, I think at some point, they were just like, we're not going to interfere. Because he beats you, you break up, you go back, so it's like... So when I decided to say, I'm leaving, they said, you need to want it for yourself. Because at some point, I think they used to neglect me. But then they came in to say, you know what? She is really going through so much. So then my parents started getting concerned. But then when I come to report and cry, the next evening I'm like, no, I'm going home to a husband.
And it's divorce. I have been through divorce. And I have to be honest, people don't realize the slippery, sloppy road. Some days you're sure of your decision.
Yes.
Some other days you're scared. You had kids. 3 kids at that.
Yeah.
And then, you know, what is interesting about your stories, you remind me so much of Tyler Perry's, you know, Diary of a Mad Black Woman. I don't know if you ever watched that one.
I watched that one.
Because you also had to hold his hands in his last few hours. How did you get through the pain to be there for someone who you knew had abused
Had
you?
me so much. I think forgiveness. You know, when we don't forgive people, it's not about them.
How did you forgive him, sir?
I had to let go. I became, honestly, if there's a time that I became a very hardcore Christian, is when I was going through this whole separation with Ivan. I became a hardcore Christian, spent most of my time in church. I got saved. I was baptized. You know, I just needed
Everything.
to,
Holy
I
Spirit,
needed to let it go. I needed to let that part of my life go. And for me to step into my new journey, I was not going to carry the baggage within. Then I'm not moving on. Because I'm carrying things over. It's like I needed to let this go. I got saved. I forgave him. I prayed for him. It got to a point where I didn't pray for myself, my family, my kids, or anybody. I prayed for him. I'm like, God, show this man, deliver him, touch him. He's disturbed. There's a demon. There's something that causes him to do this. So I got to a point I needed him to change. Thinking if I prayed for him and he changed, we could still. But God had other plans. And when I forgave him and I decided to get saved and moved on with my life, this is when now I met Diamond.
Yeah, I was about to ask you that. How did you still stay so positive about falling in love? Did you believe that you could ever fall in love again?
God, look at me. I'm 41 today and I still feel like I can fall in love.
I love a woman who is so confident.
I'm so comfortable saying, you know what, I'm going to meet my next person. I'm going to meet my forever, my
How do you get
soulmate.
that mindset?
Positivity. I'm such a girly girl. I don't mind having a guy. Hey, what's up, baby? Did you eat? What's your day like? What are you doing today? Can we? You know, every woman needs that. Doesn't matter how successful, how much money you make. You still need that one person that's gonna call you at the end of the day. So how was your day? Tell me about it.
Zari.
You know.
And moving on, it's like 5 and 6. So let's talk about Diamond. Because you guys kept that relationship very quiet at the end stages. Why?
There was gonna be a whole lot of judgment, criticism. I was older than him, 8 years. And obviously me having had kids, people were like, really? You an upcoming artist? You want to date this woman, 3 kids? Like, what's the future like? But let me tell you something about what hearts want. A heart wants what it wants. That one could have dated anyone. I could have dated anybody from Ivan. But our 2 souls just met. We just met.
Girl, I'm going to get into all of that. Souls meeting and hats fluttering. Let's go on a quick break. With every closed door, there is a slightly open window. Zari is still in the building with me. Now, before we went on a break, we're talking about Diamond.
Yes.
And I must say, girl, you're moving on game first before we even delve into this. Girl, it's like you're taking off the t-shirts, you're wearing a new one, and it's a brand new relationship. How do you move on so quickly?
I don't move on so quickly, but what's the point of hurting? Gonna sit around, cry for a month, for a year? For what? Life waits for nobody. Nah.
Yeah, it's just a heartbreak.
No. Life doesn't wait for anyone, darling.
So let's talk about Diamond, because you mentioned him earlier.
Yeah.
You have 2 beautiful children for him. And, how did you guys, and why did you guys break up?
It was, me and Diamond had a very beautiful relationship. It was like some fairy tale. We treated me like a queen, I treated him like a king. But I guess all that glitters isn't gold. And we were in a long distance relationship, me living in South Africa, him being in Tanzania.
How did you guys make that work?
We tried. He would fly in, I would fly in as well in Tanzania, but I don't know what happened, and there was a whole lot of infidelity. And in the process of, infidelity, there were so many stories about different girls having abortions, and then this one particular one decided to actually keep the pregnancy. And for me, it was like, what's happening? When a woman actually asks you, she already knows.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to see, are you going to come clean with me? So throughout the whole 9 months I was listening to these stories, he didn't come clean with me. So no, I don't understand where you come with these stories. That's not my child. I don't even know that girl. I only did a music video. She was a music vixen and she was brought by some agent and that's it. I'm like, oh, okay, cool. Baby's born. Sends the mother to go see the child. The girl actually sets up paparazzi and they take pictures of the mother visiting the hospital. I'm like, okay, you have nothing to do with this child. She was just a video vixen. Why is your mother visiting? Oh, no. She was just there to do something else. And the girl herself starts releasing pictures of them in our bed. Not in hotels, we're in our marital home in Tanzania. She's the sidekick that's like, I'm not going down with the fight. You had a baby with me. Who they always want to come out and show themselves.
Especially when they know the person in question is
have nothing to lose.
Is cheating a deal breaker for you?
For me, it wasn't the cheating.
So you would stay with the man if
Because I did tell him, look, first of all, you're Muslim. We can just have a press conference and before we give her a chance to come up, you hold a press conference and say, whatever it is, whether you're talking about your music, then it pops up. I'm a Muslim man. I'm allowed to marry 4 wives. I didn't give him that statement because I didn't want this thing to blow up or give the other person power. You come out to say you're Muslim, you're allowed to, so that is the second one. There's 2 more to go. Then me and you is going to fight it behind the scenes. When we come out, we're so cute and pretty, but behind the scenes, me and you is dealing with this. No, I don't understand what you're talking about. That's not my child.
But don't you worry that might also be, young girls listening to you thinking it's okay for a man to cheat on them?
It's not okay. But this is a relationship that me and him wanted to build together.
But do you think that was also the reason why she was so public? Because I find that sometimes when a man is dating a woman who has a high net worth, who is known, you find out that there's a point to prove. It's almost like your life is not perfect. I'm here to tell the world that he cheated on you and I'm having a baby. Do you think he made it worse that you are who you are?
It did. You actually just said it. You just put it perfectly. Sometimes it's about the woman he's dating. It's not even about him. It's about you. I want that. Why is he using me? He's got this. Why? I could be that. I could be the one on holidays with him. I could, it's you. So they always just come out to say, nah, I'm going to show them. Yeah.
So your daughter made a really cute video where she said you're still in love with her dad. Is there any truth to that?
No. Do you have any idea? Myself and Diamond are like good friends.
Okay.
We could call each other and speak, about anything. He could be seeking my advice about something, and he was like, wait, I think a lot of my kids would know better. So we're friends like that. And because I'm always speaking to him, and we do video calls, when he wants to speak to the kids, or just me, the child is always there. But you and Papa were talking. Or the other day we were shooting, with Netflix. He came to my house, was changing in my bedroom, it was very comfortable.
Do you guys still get down like that?
Oh no. Like I leave the bedroom for him and go. So my child seeing the father around and we just interacting nicely. There's no kisses, there's no touchy. She just says like, you and Papa are back together. Why? Because Papa is home.
So in an interview with The Standard, he did say that you loved him more than he loved you. How did that make you feel?
If Diamond came out and said that I loved him more than he loved me, the fact that he already said it, that alone is the wrong answer. So the opposite is true.
So how do you guys co-parent so beautifully?
Very easy. We've actually decided to put our kids first priority, our feelings aside, whatever it is aside. So it is about our kids, what is good for them. So we're actually doing it. People don't believe me and Diamond are co-parenting. I've never had any sexual relationship with Diamond since we broke up.
No kissing, no moments when you guys are hanging with the family.
No, trust me, Toki, when you see us together, you'll be like, the chemistry is so deep. But that's it.
Let's move a little bit away from Diamond Platinum.
Yeah.
You had a Kim Kardashian moment, girl. You fell in love, got engaged, got married in 3 months. It's over.
Oh. Yeah.
Back. Talk to me about it. What was that about?
You meet people, and before you even realize I think there's something about me. Let me just confess. My friends are always saying, take one leg in, then put your ears in. But with me, I'm just like, I just go, I fall hard. When I'm there, like, oh my God, shit, I messed up. I need to get myself back.
What happened? Because I hear you, but I want to know why.
Nothing. We didn't hear from each other.
He ghosted you.
I ghosted him. I'm very good.
You know why I asked?
But then I'm so quick to go.
But you know why I asked if he was the one? Because you spoke about falling in.
Yeah.
And then so you just woke up one day and had a light bulb moment where you thought.
Yeah. The thing is with me, like I said, I'm in, but when I'm out, I don't waste time, I'm out.
Well, there was news that he is now in a relationship with a man.
Oh no, we're talking about two different people.
Girl, there's more.
No.
Zari, can I say this to you? I absolutely love you.
I'm crazy. Like my life is so hectic.
I'm thank you for being so open on topic. Okay.
Oh no. With him, we were just dating. I think it was like 2 months.
But did you know that he likes men?
Apparently, he said he doesn't do men. He's just out there supporting the gay community. And for me, I didn't go deep into that. Yeah.
There's some guys that you look back and think, what was I even thinking? Was I on drugs? Was I depressed? Do you have this moment where you look at... Because I believe that the opposite of love is not hate. It's indifference. I'm going to get in trouble, right? Let's talk. So do you ever look back and think, what was I thinking dating this guy?
So I've had moments where I'm looking back and I'm like, wait a second, my ex wasn't even my type. He has no class, he didn't know how to dress. This guy did... Why was he even chewing like that?
I want to ask, what your ideal man is?
Girl, there's no such thing as an ideal man. There's no such thing as a perfect woman.
Do you believe you are
Definitely, I'm a sucker for love. So yes, I'm still open for dating.
So what's the nicest thing a man has ever done for you?
This other guy recently, sometime about a year ago, he wants to take me to a date. He says, I'm not going to take you to Santon or Signature Restaurant or what. Let's just go grab some ice cream and sit on the rooftop. And because I hadn't felt that old school type of love, it's like, wow. We sat there doing the ice cream, just looking at the rooftop. And it's like, this is beautiful.
So it's the little things for you.
For me, it's always, and they cost nothing, yet at the same time, men can't actually afford them.
Do you think that powerful men choose you? Or there's something about you that just draws you to powerful men?
Being very strong, independent, character, good vibes, prayerful, and all the things. You just attract. You attract.
Money chooses you.
You're like a magnet. Things choose you. You don't chase. Things choose you.
Very beautifully said. For a young lady who's watching you, fearful of life, thinking, how do I become this boss lady?
Yeah.
What advice would you give her?
Passion. Whatever you do it with passion, and I'm going to say consistency. Fall down 99 times. The 100th time. Get up and try again.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Africa, there you have it. She is Zari, the boss lady, and we've had an hour of getting like an onion, peeling through the layers and getting to the core of who she is. I hope that you have had so much fun watching as I have bringing this to you. Tune in again on the next episode of Talk with Toke. My name is Toke Makiwa Mbali. I didn't get that right. I'll try again next week.